Welcome to another exciting edition of our interview segment. Of course, today we'll be chatting with the DG Director of FEMA, Alhaji Abbas Idris. Nice having you on the platform.
Thank you. Good.
The name Abbas Idris is synonymous, is famous with emergency management, not only in the FCT, across the country. Should I say only across the country? All over the world. In a nutshell, who is Abbas Idris?
Well, thank you very much. Abbas Idris was born in 1966, and I had my education, both primary and secondary school, in Bauchi. And I moved to University of Maiduguri, where I acquired my first and second degree in economics and the second degree in business management. And then I worked with Nikon Insurance, where I rose to the position of Chief Operating Officer, Marketing and Strategy, before I voluntarily resigned to start my own businesses. And later I went to Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where I read Masters in Disaster Risk Management and Development Studies. And in 2013, I was invited by the then Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to come and pioneer the setting up of the FCT Emergency Management Agency, in which I was appointed as the Director General and Chief Executive, as a Pioneer Director General of the FEMA, and a position I'm still holding till now. I am married, happily married with children. And that is all about me. I'm a very cool and cool-headed person.
Nice one. Okay, many people understand emergency management to mean intervention during emergency. Okay, what is the core function of FEMA as an agency in charge of emergency management in FCT?
Well, like I said earlier, the mandate of this agency is purely coordination and response. And when the agency was set up, it was set up to interface with National Emergency Management Agency, so that you will have the first responders at the state level, and then at the national level, the NEMA is the first responder. Except there is need for NEMA to come in, the main mandate of the agency is to respond to any kind of emergency within the FCT. And then you coordinate other agencies, because emergency management or disaster management is not a responsibility for one agency. And that is why you will have to have a coordinating agency. So FEMA is a coordinating agency. All other agencies that could respond to one emergency or another has to be coordinated from FEMA. The main mandate is coordination. The second mandate is response. We have to respond to any emergency in the FCT. And that emergency involves all the sectoral in the FCT. It doesn't mean that it's only flood, or it's only fire. No, it is sectoral, including medical emergencies. Yes.
Okay, we noticed during this COVID-19, the FCT, FEMA was fully involved in the task force committee on COVID-19. Can you share with us the role of FEMA?
Not only task force. That is why I said our involvement is to all medicals, agri, whatever. Anything that you call emergency, then FEMA has to be there, because we have the sole mandate of coordination. And we are involved in COVID-19 because of the medical emergency has been declared as a pandemic. And if it is pandemic, you can see the multiplier effect of COVID-19 does not just stop at the COVID. It is affecting different sectors. And the economic sector is suffering, the social sector is suffering, even the spiritual sector is suffering. So we have to come in and do a lot. We are involved in the task force, and we are involved in the palliative, and we are also involved in the medical side. Each we have representation, so we are doing our best to ensure that there is proper coordination and response.
Okay, the FCT Committee on Distribution of Palliative has just commenced the last phase of distribution of palliative to the vulnerable in FCT. Who are those expected to benefit under the phase, and what are the criteria for selecting?
Yes, you see, the first phase was general distribution. The second phase was also general distribution. The third phase was also general distribution. Our target at the initial stage is that we are going to reach out to 100,000 households per each area council. And that is how we staggered the distribution. And in the first round, we did on the average of 30,000 households. The second round, the same thing. And then the third round. Then the fourth round, we are targeting those weak clusters. Clusters like organizations in the area councils, like the widows, the people living with disability, the blind people, and so on and so forth. And then we now brought those associations, leadership of those associations, and NGOs who are really helping those clusters in the area councils to come and take and share to those their target people. And that is what we did at the last phase of it. And it has really gone far. As I'm talking to you, they are still distributing.
Okay, now we're entering the rainy season, known as the season of flood. In some states across the country, what measures have you put in place to tackle the measure of flood in this season in FCT?
Yes, flood are categorized into different types, but what we are facing here is we're faced with flash flooding. It's one of the major flood that is affecting people, and when it comes without notice. All other type of floodings, they come with notice, but flash flood will just build up within a short period of time, and it's so devastating, and it's associated, like I said, with urbanization, which is the characteristics of the FCT. FCT is an urban city, and is planned for a few people, and it's going to be into phases, and we are into second phase of development of the FCT. Unfortunately, you see the population explosion in the FCT has surpassed the number of amenities, number of facilities we have in the city. So there is going to be, once there is population explosion, there's going to be way too much waste generation. And if there is too much waste generation, you find it very difficult to really evacuate the waste, because even where you are keeping the waste are being targeted for some few number of people, but now it's overstretched. So you see waste everywhere being dumped by the residents. Some people will just park it in a nylon bag as they are driving, they throw it out anyhow. So that is blocking the gutters, it's blocking the drainages and the waterways. So the strategy we have taken is that, and another factor also, some people build on the waterways, some people build to block the drainages, some build on the floodplain. So,
what are the advice to them?
Yes, the advice is that we ask them to remove it so that they go to the proper planning approval that they were given. So, but if those that are not moving, we had to use the other agency, the development control, to remove those structures to allow free flow of water. But we have planned in such a way that all the stakeholders are together to ensure that there is free flow of water. We cannot stop water from moving, but people that build to block it, we have to remove it so that the water can move. And that's the only solution that we can have water not flooding to affect anybody or any property.
So the residents should be rest assured that you people are ready for this.
No, definitely we are ready, because all hands are on deck. Everything has been done. We have studied what happened last year, and we have now corrected all those anomalies that were hindrance to the free flow of water, and everything is going to be okay by the grace of God.
That's great. You've been a DG for 7 years. What is it that you can beat your chest to say, okay, this is what I've achieved in the last 7 years being a DG?
Well, I don't like blowing my trumpet, but I think
so many awards here.
I think it is.
You've done pretty well for yourself.
Well, glory be to God. And I'm one of the things that I would say I have done is bringing up the FEMA itself. Here is an agency that was created without office, without staff, without any equipment, without a car, without anything. I was just given an appointment letter. Where is the office? You are the pioneer DG. Set it up. And while setting it up, there was a lot of problems, especially lack of proper funding of the agency.
Those are the challenges.
So these were the challenges that we faced, but by the grace of God, I was able with my team to bring it up to limelight and also pursue our mandate. And that has been done consistently from the existence to date. And today we have a structure that is called FEMA, and everybody is happy.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Can you share with us just one memorable incident that is so dear to you within the last 7 years being a DG of FEMA?
Very good. Yes. The most memorable and painful experience I had on this job was the Nyanya bomb blast. That was the bomb blast that occurred at the bus station, killing so many people, innocent lives. When I went there for the rescue, I was picking fingers here, picking legs there, picking head somewhere. Just like that, people were scattered. We could not be able to identify, to link up when we got the parts of the body to say this is for this and this is for that. Unfortunately for us, again, the hospitals were overstretched because of the dead bodies we brought to all the hospitals in the city. We could not find the morgue to keep them, the dead bodies. So this is really my painful experience, and very bitter and memorable to me in such a way that how a human being was just scattered by the activities of somebody who is ungodly, who is a human and very wicked person. So this is what will remain in my body, and I pray for the soul of those who departed as a result of that, and may God not allow that person, if he's alive, to test anything good in his own life for making these people to lose their lives.
Amen. What are we expecting from you after FEMA?
Well, I don't know. You see, I never
because you
planned.
really paid your dues.
I never planned to.
Being the DG for 7 years.
Yes, I never planned to even read disaster management. Suddenly, in fact, it was the extension of the program I saw in a newspaper that they're supposed to close the adverts for the sale of forms, but later when I saw the extension, I had to rush to apply, and I got the admission and read, and I didn't read because I want to become anybody, because I was in the private sector doing my own business, just to add knowledge. I discovered that I had knowledge in insurance, and there is disaster management, and they complement each other. So let me have the two knowledge together, be able to run my own business. And suddenly I found myself here. So I don't know what will happen tomorrow. But wherever I am, my philosophy is to put in my best and leave a legacy for others.
You've really done so well.
Thank you very much.
So well. We're proud of you.
Thank you so much.
What advice do you have for the younger ones in service?
The younger ones in service, please drop the idea of getting rich quick syndrome. This is the problem that our younger ones are falling in. They want to start from level 8 and earn a very expensive car at that level and have a very big house, not only in Abuja, but at Sokoro, Maitama, or wherever choice area. They want to marry a beautiful wife and give her the best that she can. Yet their income is not commensurate with what they want. So let them drop a drop makes an ocean, isn't it? So gradually you start. Everybody has his own kind of life. You run your own life. You could see that you can come from a poor family and become rich. You can come from a rich family and be poor. So you just have to follow the sequence gradually. And then the younger ones should read. They should develop themselves. In fact, they are very lucky. There are a lot of materials online, free of charge, that you can develop yourself. In our own days, we have to travel from one end to another to buy one bookshop. I could remember when I had to travel from Maiduguri to Lagos, popular bookshop at Tinubu Square, where I got one book and then joined another bus back to Maiduguri. So, but now you just Google and you get the whole book. If you like, you download and bind. If you like, you read on the screen anything you want. In fact, when you get to library, you see that people are removing some part. You take a book, nothing is inside. All this era is gone. You have free access to all the knowledge. So let them read and develop themselves, and then follow and be honest and sincere, transparent in the running of their lives. They will now get to where they want to be.
Let's talk about the COVID-19 now that have hit the whole world. Nigeria,
everywhere. Yes.
What advice do you have for Nigerians?
Well, I believe that by now we know that COVID-19 has its own negative side and the positive side. The negative side is that it's an illness, it's an infection, or it's a virus that is affecting human beings, and to some, they go with it, some are surviving. That's the negative side of it. The positive side of it is that it has put us on notice that we should be able to really provide for ourselves. What are we providing for ourselves? We have to provide medical facilities for ourselves. We have to provide market for ourselves, that you don't have to try, you don't have to fly to Dubai to buy certain things before you can get it. We have to provide all other infrastructures so that at home we can be able to. Those of us who are always in the air, flying from one country to another, at least we have had a rest for how many months now without flying. So what were we doing outside? We have to bring it here so that we can have a rest. We should know that there will be a period when you can only travel maybe just for holiday if you want to, but not that you are looking for certain things. And I always tell some people that, okay, even in the near future, you can only travel like Muslims for spiritual listen, that you have to go to Mecca before you become Al-Hajj. Otherwise, anything you want, with a click of button, you will get it. It will be delivered. You can buy, you can open a car online, you open, you see the engine, you see the seating, you see every accessories in the car and pay for it, and it will be delivered to you. So we need to really take it as a lesson that we need to provide for ourselves. We must have medical facilities that will be able to cater for any kind of disease, any kind of ailment but we shouldn't rely that we have a hospital in Dubai, in London, and so on and so forth, because that is the major lessons. And this is for our leaders. The leadership must note this, and we have to really sit down and strategize.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
for giving us your time, knowing that you're very busy person. Of course, this is where we end today's interview segment. Until I come your way next time, I remain your regular host, Princess Abigail Amalaha, reporting for Supremacy TV. Stay safe.